Welcome back, my name's LastKnownMeal and I want to ask you a question. What is your favorite real-time strategy game? Honestly, as I was growing up, one of my first PC games were RTS games like Stronghold, Age of Empires, Age of Mythology, Warcraft, Starcraft, Company of Heroes, and many more that if I start naming them all you will listen to me for 2 hours. And since those games were a huge part of my childhood, I've been asking myself a question: what happened with RTS games? Now in 2016 and 2017, only RTS games I can think of are Starcraft 2, Halo Wars 2 that came out a couple of days ago, Cossacks 3, and that's it. Actually, we did have Stronghold Crusader 2 that came out in 2014, but that's pretty much it. Now, as someone that played those RTS games a lot when I was a kid, and I do believe that there's a lot of people out there that enjoy them as well, do you think that RTS games are a thing of the past, where only competitive RTS games like Starcraft can succeed and everything else is either forgotten or people don't want to buy it? Now, there is a couple of reasons why I think that RTS games are not coming out, and one of those reasons are consoles. Now again, I am not blaming consoles for the lack of RTS games, but RTS games were always kinda reserved for a PC. And I know you'll say that I hate consoles, but no. Even when we've had consoles like PS1 and PS2 and Xbox, every other RTS games that came out on PC. It was mostly because those games have a lot of micromanagement and are easier with a mouse and keyboard rather than controlling all of that with a controller. But since we live in the future now and almost every game that comes out for a PC comes to consoles as well, and the other way around of course, I think that generally developers are not interested in making RTS games because it's hard to make it compatible to a console. Again, this shouldn't be an excuse, but it is how it is. Now you also have MOBA games that are the closest thing to an RTS and strategy in general. MOBA games like League of Legends, Dota, Smite, etc. have been taking a lot of that market, and you have old and new generation of gamers playing them. But to go back at old RTS games like Age of Mythology, Stronghold, Age of Empires, that are a classic in that sense, and making a new game in those franchises could be risky since we know that bringing back old games in a new technology can be very risky and gamers could hate it. Now again, it does go back to the developers themselves because implementing new gameplay elements and making the game easier usually results in people hating it. Now the perfect example for that is Stronghold Crusader 2 that came out in 2014. Even though it captured the original feeling I've had when I was playing Stronghold Crusader 1, a lot of people didn't like it, and I believe it was because of the bugs and the amount of units you've had in that game. But still, that doesn't mean that you can't take an old franchise and make a new game out of it to be good. Starcraft 2, for example, the first game became a classic, and when they were releasing Starcraft 2, a lot of people were afraid it's going to suck, but at the end it was amazing and it's still played even today with new parts coming out like Heart of the Swarm and Legacy of the Void. Now yes, I do admit making that new RTS game and capturing that original feeling you had 10-15 years ago, it is hard because the #1 comment I see on Steam, on YouTube, everywhere when it comes to new RTS games, it doesn't feel like it doesn't feel like an old game, and yes, it could be tricky to go and make a new game and capture that old feeling. So maybe the time of a true RTS game has passed. Maybe now devs are turning to the future and making games that are not so risky as taking an old franchise with huge community like Age of Empires and making a new installment. What we can do now is dust off our old CDs and just play those old RTS games that we've enjoyed as kids, because it was such a magical thing to play, for example, Age of Mythology as a kid, and then, you know, talking to my friends what I've been through in that game, the campaign and everything. It was such a great feeling, but maybe now we're not going to receive anything like it. But I was also thinking, what if we do forget the original feeling we've had? It is hard, but What if we say, okay, let's give a new game a chance, because times are changing, you know, trends are evolving every single year, every single day, so, you know, taking a new RTS game and just implementing new technologies and gameplay elements in it, it is risky, but what if we give it a chance? Maybe those new games could be something great, and maybe in 15 years from now, someone can make a video and talk about those games and how good they were, so it's something worth, you know, thinking about. So that will be all for this video. Don't forget to smash that like and subscribe button, and tell me down below in the comment section what you think about those old RTS games, and what do you think about all of this. What is your opinion about this video? And that's it. This is LastKnownMeal signing out, and stay classy everyone.